Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So as a part of this video, I'm going to talk about for loop in Java. And this video is going to be my 29th video on my playlist Java tutorials. In this video, I promise that I will make you understand completely about how to use for loop in Java, when to use it, what are the benefits of it, how this can make your life easier. I will talk about this in this particular video. So let's get started. Guys, the basic purpose of using the for loop is that if you want to repeat the one thing again and again over a period of time, then you can use for loop. Let's say that I want to print hello and I don't want to write as system.out.println hello 10 times. I just want to write a single time and I just want to make a for loop so that it can print 10 times. In that case, I can use for loop. For loop will help me to write a single statement and run it like 10 period of time. So this is how we can use the for loop. Not only with the printing of statement, anything it may be. If you have written certain code, maybe 10 line of codes or maybe 10,000 line of code. If you want to repeat the all 10,000 line of code, maybe 3 times, you don't have to copy and paste 3 times your 10,000 line of code over a period of time. Like 10,000 line of code, copy and paste it below. 10,000 line of code, copy and paste it below. You don't have to do that. You just have to put for loop with just single statement. If you want to run this 10,000 line of code, maybe 1 million times, you can do that. This is the beauty of it. So it will help you to avoid reworking again and again. Using for loop, you can do wonders. Let me teach you how. Now let's take example that you want to print system.out.println. Maybe you want to print hello, and maybe you want to write it maybe 10 times. So what you will do? Probably you will repeat this statement 10 times. So to avoid that, we have come up with for loop. Using for loop, all you have to do is you can just write from what number you want to start your for loop. So I can say that I want to start my for loop from 1. I want to start my for loop from 1, and then it will ask you, you have to put semicolon, and then it will ask you until what number you want to run it. So probably you will say that I want to run it until my I value becomes less than or equal to 10. And then after every value of I, once the one value of I is getting over, I want to increment the value of I. So I want to make it I plus plus, just because I'm not able to write I plus plus here. I will better write it down for you, but while writing the program, I will show you that I will be writing in a single line. After doing that, I will put starting of braces and ending of the braces. Now the meaning of this statement is, the meaning of this for loop is, the meaning of the syntax of for loop is, I'm starting my for loop from I from when it is equal to 1. That means I'm telling my for loop to run from 1 till it is the I value becomes 10. But as you guys know already, whenever we are initializing and declaring the value of I, we have to put it in some container, and those containers are called as data types. So just because this I is there, I have to initialize one data type called as integer, and then my integer I is equals to 1. That means I'm starting running my for loop from 1 value, and I want to keep it running. I want to keep this hello running until my I value becomes equals to 10. So the meaning of the statement is until my I value is less than 10 or it is equal to 10. So it will keep running, and each time value of I will be keep on increasing. Let's take example. So the moment your JVM will start executing the code from main method that is called as public static void main, the moment your JVM will start executing the code from the public static void main, it will come here for loop, and it will check whether int is equals to 1. Okay, int is equal to 1. Then it will check if I is less than or equals to 10. Yes, it is. So it is going to print hello for the first time. After printing it, it will increment the value of I. So earlier the value of I was 1, now it will make 2. Now, after making it 2, it will check whether 2 is less than or equal to 10 or not. So we all know that 2 is less than 10. So again, it is going to print hello. After doing that, it's going to increment the value of I plus plus will increment the value of I every time one flow is done. Now it will increment the value of I to maybe from 2 to 3, not maybe, but it will make it 3. And the moment I value becomes 3, it will check whether I is less than or equals to 10 or not. It is. So again, it is going to come inside this braces, and it will do whatever you want to do it here. Remember guys, always you will not print something. Maybe you can perform your addition of 2 numbers here. Maybe you can write some logic here, whichever is your favorite logic. For learning purpose, in case you want to try this in a company, in some application, you can do that. You can do that too. And now after doing that, once after printing it, it will again increment the value of I, and then it will increment to 4. Similarly, it will keep on incrementing until the value of I becomes 10. Once the value of I becomes 10, and it is going to print the hello for the I when it was 10, then it will increment the value of I for 11. So now I becomes 11. Now if it checks the condition, now 11 is not less than or equals to 10. It is not less than or equals to 10. In that case, it will come out of the loop. So it is going to come out of this braces and it will come here. So this is how for loop works. This is one way of understanding your for loop. Let me execute the same thing in the laptop, and then I will come back to teach you the second way of using the for loop. I mean, how else you can use the for loop. So let's execute the same program in the laptop now. Now, all you have to do is just go to your project, and after that, you can go to the particular package. And after going to the particular package, you can create a new class with a main method called as public static void main. After doing that, you'll see that the class will be created. So I want to print system.out.println something. So for that sake, I will write system.out.println, and probably I want to print something, and that something is software testing by MKT, or probably MKT, or probably as caps. After doing that, if I run this, you know what is the output. You already know, I need not show you. If I want to print it 5 times, probably I have to write the same statement, and to avoid that, I will write for loop. So as I told you, you have to put for, and then you have to start with the value that you want your loop to work. Let's say I want to run my loop from 10. You can do that. You are free to do that. You want to start it from 0, you can do that. You want to start it with 1, you can do that. It's all up to you. So let me start with 10, as I told you. And then I want it to run until my I is less than equals to probably 20. And then I want to, every loop, I want the value of I to increase, and that is why I have this. And then I can start my for loop and end my for loop. I can start my for loop and end my for loop. The only mistake is here, as I told you, whenever you are initializing and declaring any variable in Java, you have to put the container. Guys, that container is for my understanding, I'm telling you, so that you guys will understand it. You can remember it by the data types. So the container of 1 or any integer is called as, or any numbers is called as integer, so or int. So I'm storing inside my int, which I usually call as container. After that, after it is done, you will see that it will run its program. So from at starting, it is the value of I is 10. So this is for 10th, and then it incremented it once. So this is for 11th, this is for 12th, this is for 13th, this is for 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Because it is equals to 20. The moment you make it less than 20, it will run till 19 times, not 20. You will see that the moment I run it, last software testing by MKT will be gone. If you observed, it was gone because now it is running till your I is less than 20. You can make it from 0. Now it will run from 0 till 19. Total number of times is 20. If you run it, you will see that it has run 20 times. Probably once you do it yourself, you can count it if you want. Not required, by the way. And then I will tell you now how the execution is taking place. So once your GVM is coming to the public static void main, it is coming to the for loop and it is checking whether int is equals to 1. If it is equals to 1, check it until my I is less than 20. So just because I is 0 and at the initial stage and 0 is less than 20, it will enter inside the loop and it is going to do whatever this loop is doing. So it will print system.out. It will print system.out.println. It will print software testing by MKT. Once it is printed, it will increment the value of I by 1. Now initially the value of I was 0, it will increment it to 1. The moment it is 1, it will check whether 1 is less than or 20 or not. So it is. 1 is always less than 20. So again, it will print software testing by MKT. After printing it, it will increment the value of I. To 2, it will again check whether 2 is less than or 20 or not. It is. It will again print system.out.println. It will keep doing it until the value of I becomes 19. The moment your value of I is 19, it will check whether 19 is less than 20 or not. We know it is. It will print it, but then it will increment the value of I to 20. The moment I becomes 20, 20 is not less than 20, it will come out of the loop and it will do then whatever it has to do next. So it will come out of the loop and whatever outside the loop is there, it will do that. Probably it is going to tell MKT. If I run that, you will see me printing software testing by MKT almost 20 times and MKT once, because your JVM public static void main starting the code from here. JVM is executing the code from public static void main. It has first completed his all duty by running it 20 times and then finally printing MKT. So this is how the execution takes place. Guys, the beauty of for loop is you don't have to do the same thing again and again. You can just write a logic and it can only run the same thing again and again. You can just put from where until where you have to run it and it will solve the problem. So you just have to specify from where we have to start till where we have to go. If the condition matching, it will keep doing it. And if you give I++, the value of I, it will keep incrementing it. So that's the beauty of for loop. Let me tell you something more interesting today. So I have this now. Let's say I want to print hello, but this time my for loop, I want to make it little different way. So if you remember in the last time, I had made my for loop from an initial moment to the last moment. That is, I'm starting my race from here and I'm reaching till here. But what about I want to come from the destination to origin? I can even do that. That means, let's say starting, I ran my software testing by MKT from 0 to 20. Now I want to run my for loop from 20 to 0. That also I can do it. So only thing that I have to do here is I have to initialize my INTI with, and then I have to specify until what time you want to run it. So I will say I want to run it until my I is greater than and equal to 0. I want to run this until my I is greater than or equal to 0. The reason I'm giving greater than because at starting my value of I is 20, it will go inside the loop only when 20 is greater than equal to 0 or not. So I have to write in this order, greater than. I cannot give less than, otherwise it will not go inside the loop. And then I have to specify I minus minus. The meaning is very simple. At starting the value of I is 20. When the value of I is 20, it will check whether 20 is greater than or equal to 0 or not. We all know that 20 is always greater than 0. It will print hello for the very first time. We got the output. then it will decrement the value of I by 1. So earlier the value of I was 20, now it is 19. It will check whether 19 is greater than or equal to 0 or not. We all know that 19 is always greater than 0. It will again print hello. And then it will decrement the value of I from 19 to probably 18, not probably, but 18. Yeah. After it is 18, it will check whether 18 is greater than or equal to 0 or not. We all know that 18 is greater than 0. So again, it will print hello. This process will keep repeating until the incremented value of I is 0. Once it is 0, it will check whether 0 is greater than or equal to 0 or not. Guys, remember I'm telling whether 0 is greater than or equal to 0 or not. That means one condition has to satisfy, not both. So since 0 is greater than or equal to 0, because 0 is equal to 0, it will again enter inside the loop and it is going to print hello. Now it will decrement the value of I, that is which was 0 earlier, it will make it -1. Now the moment it will check for this condition, that is -1 is greater than equal to 0 or not, which we all know that it is not, so it will come out of this loop. So like this also you can use your for loop. Let me execute the same program again. Now I want to run it from number 20 till the value of I becomes 0, till the I becomes 0, till the value of I becomes 0, and I have to make it minus minus. If I do that, you will see that it is printing it 20 times. I mean from 20 till 0, so probably 21 times, and then at the last MKT. This is the beauty of it. So in this case, the value of I is coming from the destination to origin. In last class I showed you that your value of I was going from the origin to the destination. Now it's coming from the destination to the origin. I'm just making this terms to make you understand about the for loop. But let me talk something more about this. I don't want to give any half knowledge, I want to give full knowledge. Now if I make this, if I make like this, can you guys think about the output? So I'm telling the value of I is 20, and now I'm telling that if I is less than equals to 0, now it will check whether 20 is less than or equal to 0 or not. Let me know in the comment section if you know the answer now. Pause the video, go to the comment section and write down your answer. Now it will see whether 20 is less than or equal to 0 or not. So we all know that 20 is not less than or equal to 0. So it will never enter inside the for loop. So your answer is just going to be MKT. If you run it, probably you will see that your answer is just MKT because it never came inside the for loop. What if I make it plus plus plus? If you know the answer, pause the video now and comment out what is your answer. If you have come back, so your I is starting from 20 and it is checking since whether 20 is less than equals to 0 or not, which is not. So it will never enter inside the for loop. So your answer is still going to be MKT. Now let me do something more. Now let me tell you that it will start with 0 and it will check whether that value to the condition until my value of I is less than equals to 10 or not, and each time it will decrement the value. Can you guys think of the answer? In case yes, comment, pause the video and write down your answer in the comment section. Let me tell you the answer now. So I'm starting my for loop with I equals to 0 and it is checking whether I is less than equals to 10 or not. I know the 0 is less than equals to equals to 10. It will enter inside the loop and it will print software testing by MKT, and then the value of I becomes minus minus. That means the value of I becomes -1. Guys, if I do minus minus now, it is never going to reach positive to 10. It is never going to reach positive 10 because from 0 I'm making it minus minus. So the 0 is going to be from 0 to -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on. It is never going to be in the positive direction. In that case, this loop will keep executing it infinite number of times. This loop is going to run for infinite number of times. Your MKT is never going to be printed out, because you have made a condition in such a way that it will never satisfy the condition. It will never reach its destination. You have made it like that. So you have made it to start with the 0 and to come up till 10, and you have made your I value to keep on decreasing. So starting it is 0. After one loop, it will decrement the value of I to -1 and -2, -3, -4. It is never going to come out to positive 10. In that case, your answer is going to be software testing by MKT infinite times, and this statement is never going to be printed because your execution will keep on rotating only in these 4 lines. Now let me run it and show you. It will never stop. It is never going to stop. Maybe you can make it run for whole night, and tomorrow when you wake up, it will be running like this. It is not going to stop now because the condition is never satisfying. The condition is never satisfying. In case you come across any such logic where you have to run your same line of code again and again, you can utilize this. I really hope this video was useful. In case yes, you know what you have to do, right? Please support the channel, share this video, and like the video. Thank you guys. Have any doubt, put out all your doubt in the comment section.